Alright, you guys, Michael Bay is back, and that can be a really good thing or a really bad thing. Let's find out, shall we? Ambulance. So Ambulance is a new crime heist thriller directed by Michael Bay. The same man that brought us Bad Boys 1 and 2, 13 Hours, awesome movie by the way, and of course all these pieces of shit. This movie stars Jake Gyllenhaal and Yahya Abdul-Mateen II. Jesus Christ, that name is long, brother. They play two brothers who have obviously taken two very different career paths. Abdul is an ex-soldier who's just trying to take care of his wife and son, and Jake Gyllenhaal is a loose cannon of a thief with a really bad attitude problem. But hoping to make a quick buck to pay for his wife's medical bills, Abdul goes to Jake, who gets him involved in a bank heist that goes way out of control. They both end up stranded in the back of an ambulance with a paramedic and a wounded cop, all the while the police and the FBI are hot on their tail. Now the question is, how long can they hold out, and can they somehow get away and survive the growing tensions growing between them? You know, to talk about this movie, guys, I feel like I need to at least talk about my history with Michael Bay. I have had an on and off hate-love relationship with the man. There have been times where I've really loved his movies, and then there have been times where I thought pretty much all his movies were just big heaping bowls of cancer. The first three Transformers movies, as flawed as they are, I will stand behind them. They're guilty pleasures from my childhood, and I'm not ashamed to admit that. Transformers 4 and 5, however, I wouldn't wipe my ass with those movies. They are truly that horrible. All that being said, is Ambulance a bad Michael Bay movie, or is it a really good one? I'm gonna say that it's somewhere in the middle for me. While Ambulance can be a fun, tension-filled thrill ride at times, unfortunately, it still suffers from a lot of Michael Bay's Bayisms, some of which take you out of the movie entirely. It doesn't mean it happens all the time, but when it does happen, it's so in your face that you can't just help but roll your eyes when it happens. I will say, Jake Gyllenhaal and Abdul-Mateen are awesome. They're two of the hottest stars in the industry today, and they both rock these roles. Jake Gyllenhaal plays Danny Sharp, and this man, he can be a ruthless son of a bitch. He's a total loose cannon in this movie, and most of the tension comes from just watching him and seeing how he's going to react to certain situations. Like, is he going to fly off the handles and do some crazy shit, or is he not going to do anything at all? And of course, Abdul is the guy that you root for the most in this movie. He has a sickly wife and a young son that he just wants to get back to in one piece. That's his whole goal. If he can't get out of this, then chances are he'll probably never see his family again. Because let's face it, he and my boy Danny are in a lot of trouble if they get caught. So you just end up rooting for the guy because you really want to see him come out of this. You really want to see him get back to his family. He was the heart and soul of this film for sure. And you know, it's funny, as great as both of them are, Isa Gonzalez was a total standout in this movie. In a lot of Michael Bay's movies, the hot female is just that, a hot female. But here, her character is just given so much more to do than just be eye candy for the audience. She's heroic, she's daring, she somehow manages to keep a level head through all the crazy shit that's happening. I really enjoyed her performance. She was a very nice change of pace versus the typical eye candy female that's in all of Bay's movies. Some of the shots and cinematography definitely add to the already crazy atmosphere that this movie has. I feel like the way Bay shoots his films work a lot better for films like this than they do versus movies like TMNT or Transformers. Because once again, this is a chaotic ass movie with a lot of car chases, things just blowing the fuck up. So Bay's style of filmmaking definitely captures all the chaos that goes on in this film. Or Bayos, as a lot of people have started to call it. And this movie can be tense as hell at certain points. Like, this is the first time I've ever almost thrown up watching a surgery be performed in a movie. While they're being chased by the cops in this ambulance, they have a wounded cop on board. And he is going to bleed out and die if he does not get medical attention immediately. So Isa Gonzalez starts performing a surgery on him while this ambulance is just going way faster than any ambulance ever should. And it's nail-biting too, because one wrong move, one slip-up, and this guy is dead. He is going to bleed out. And if he dies, Jake and Abdul are going to prison for the rest of their fucking lives, because technically, they just killed an officer of the law. There's a lot of scenes and moments like that in this movie, and it definitely provides some great tension. And unfortunately, there's a lot of moments in this movie that take you out of those really intense moments entirely, pretty much. For whatever reason, Michael Bay has always had this really bad habit of putting in these really forced-ass jokes into a scene that just breaks any and all tension whatsoever. Like, you don't need to do that in every scene. Just let the scene play out as it was meant to be. You can't just go from serious and tense to funny and comical during really pivotal scenes. It just breaks the entire tension of the scene. And not only does it break the tension, but it takes the audience out of the experience. Just let the scene be comical or let it be serious. Decide, like, please. There's also a lot of underlying references to a lot of Bay's other movies that are just so in your face that, once again, you just can't help but roll your eyes when they show up. Like, I get it, man. You made Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. You didn't need to remind me of it. Also, this movie is just a little long. It's 2 hours and 16 minutes. Like, during the film, there was a time where I actually checked my watch because I was starting to doze off at one point. Outside of the heist sequence, they are inside that ambulance for over 80% of the film. If this movie was at least an hour and 45 minutes, I would be a little kinder about the runtime. But since they're in that ambulance for so damn long, it just kind of starts to wear on you at some point. Like, you begin to lose interest and you lose your intrigue, and that's bad. Like, I should not be zoning in and out while watching a film. The fact that I was is pretty bad. And those things do bring the movie down for me a bit, and it sucks because watching the movie, I see what they were trying to do. Michael Bay really wants this movie to be this crazy, over-the-top heist thriller that just entertains the shit out of you. The problem is the movie just can't decide if it wants to be a serious thriller or if it wants to be a comedy thriller at some points. And the runtime really does not help the movie's case either. I didn't hate Ambulance, guys, but all the problems it does have brought down my enjoyment of the movie very drastically. If you're a Michael Bay fan and you love all his movies despite the flaws, more power to you. You'll probably get a good kick out of this movie. For me, though, it's just meh. Guys, Ambulance was a fun and suspenseful ride at certain times. But the problems in Michael Bay's typical Bayisms just completely took me out of the film at some of its most pivotal moments. It's got great acting performances and stunning camera work, but until Bay can produce something that doesn't make me roll my eyes on occasion, I guess me and him will continue that hate-love relationship that we have. Ambulance probably would have been a better time for me if I was high.
Roll it up, Jeremy, roll it up.
Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. Drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe if you're new. I see that the channel jumped by 7 subscribers over the past few days. This is really good. Wonder if it had something to do with that Facebook post of mine. Probably. But once again, thank you guys so much for all your support. I will say I do have a major announcement coming at the end of the month, but I got 3 more movies to see this month. 3 more. Hopefully I can get those reviews out to you guys as quickly as I can, and I'm sorry that this one took a while to get up. Once again, it's been a pretty rough week. But anyway, that is all for today. Like I said, drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe if you're new. And as always, this is Nathan Triner. I'm saying peace, and I'll see you guys next time for more Fire Forged movie reviews. Peace out, everybody.